Thursday, 17 October. This was previous day. We take previous day's high. And then we take, if I'm not sure if this week is any significance to us. I'm not quite sure in it. I'm not quite sure yet. It can be somewhat significant, but we're not focusing on that today. So we are fucking having the previous day high, and we are fucking having this week. Alright, on the weekly chart, we fucking annotate that bitch, and then we fucking come into that. Alright, we find some support in that. So I'm going to delete that for a moment, and immediately we can see that volume imbalance in here. We drop down in here, which is very good. So after that, we want to see some bullish price action. All set that I want to trade above that, but don't want to close the daily fair value gap completely, and then we can explore this outside potentially. But right now we are fucking finding support at the order block, alright, and the fucking volume imbalance, yeah, alright, and then we fucking close below the fucking daily fair value gap, or okay. I want to close below that weekly fair value gap, alright, to see some bearish price action, alright. So let's check this out, alright. Did it trade to the midpoint of that? No, it didn't. No. So right now we are still quite bullish, because why? I believe that relative equal highs in here. And here we make that jagged. We can search this now, but we are leaving probably like a low resistance liquidity run. Alright, this is the 4 hour chart. As you can see in here, there's an order block. Alright, mate. That 4 hour order block, that's the fucking the drop down for the day. Alright, we don't come back in that. And then the other order block in here is the 1 hour order block. It's in close correlation to this fucking 50-minute fair value gap, and in here we have that high of the if we had a long position in here, we can take partials in here, and then we have that taken care of. Alright, so I'm gonna take you to this price action in here. That's that order block, that 4 hour order block, that's that 1 hour order block, and it's 15-minute fair value gap. It's a 5-minute fair value gap. Price comes from a 15-minute fair value gap. Alright, so let's take a look at that. The 15 in here, this is that 15-minute fair value gap right in here. That was the 1 hour fair value gap, but now we close it down to the 15. Alright, so there you go, like that. This fair value gap in here is the same as this one in here. So now we have an SMT. We take this on the ES, but we don't take that on the NQ. So in here we drop down, we don't trade to the breakaway gap. In here I took a long position because I wanted to say these price action to be taken out, and in here I immediately could see that it was spending too much time to get in that position. On top of that is that we are fucking having a fucking what the fuck is this? Alright, here we are here, and here I took a long position. Alright, so this is fucking not good. I took it apart. So when I saw that, I was like, alright, mate, we're gonna take this as a breakaway gap, and then I'm closing the position in here. Once we drop down, alright, this is an institutional entry order flow, and then we have that 50-minute gap. We take up this low, we trade to the previous high, and we are trading to the midpoint of the 50-minute fair value gap. Alright, so then we trade up. We want to see this inverse potentially for higher prices, but we don't do that, so we trade lower, and we don't trade to that 15-minute fair value gap and 50-minute wick. I'm talking about this one in here. There you fucking go. So we trade in that, we fucking don't inverse that fair value gap in here, so we treat it as a bearish fair value gap in here. Once we trade back to the low of that, then we want to take a short position. Then we take a low, high, higher, lower, low, higher, high. Then we take this as a breaker block. In the meantime, once it created that breaker block, we had a 5-minute fair value gap. Then we traded higher. Once we traded up in here, we traded higher to that 1 hour order block, and at 12 p.m. that's probably it for the day. Alright, mate.